I was 28 when I married Daniel. Back then, I thought he was everything I wanted: stable, kind, and predictable in the best way. He made me feel safe. After a chaotic childhood, that was exactly what I thought I needed. Fast forward 8 years, and that sense of stability feels like a prison. There's no passion, no excitement, just routine. Daniel is a good man, but he's passive, always deferring to others, never standing up for himself. His mother runs our lives, his sister drains our finances, and his coworkers walk all over him. I used to admire his patience. Now I see it as weakness. A year ago, I met someone else. It wasn't planned, and I didn't go looking for it. But when I met Ryan, something in me woke up. He was confident, assertive, magnetic. He made me feel wanted in a way Daniel never did. We started as friends, but the pull was undeniable. One night, after months of stolen glances and late-night conversations, we crossed the line. I thought I'd feel guilty, but I didn't. For the first time in years, I felt alive. For months, I planned my exit. I convinced myself that I deserved more, that I couldn't waste my life in a passionless marriage. I imagined the conversation over and over, picturing Daniel's reaction: shock, sadness, maybe even anger. I was ready for it. But then he beat me to it. Not with a divorce request, but with a diagnosis. Cancer. It wasn't terminal, but it was serious. The doctors were optimistic: early detection, good treatment options. But he would need support. And how could I leave now? So I stayed. I played the role of the devoted wife. I took him to appointments, held his hand through chemo, smiled at his optimism. When I get better, we'll finally take that trip to Italy, he said once, his voice filled with hope. And I nodded, even as my stomach twisted with guilt. Ryan and I cooled things off. He understood, but wasn't happy. "You don't love him," he said. "Why are you doing this to yourself?" I had no answer. Months passed. Daniel got weaker before he got better. And something strange happened. I started resenting him even more. It was irrational, cruel even, but I couldn't help it. Every time he thanked me, every time he looked at me with love and gratitude, I wanted to scream. Because he didn't know. He didn't know that the woman taking care of him had already left in every way that mattered. Then, everything exploded. One night, I forgot to log out of my email. Daniel wasn't one to snoop, but he saw the messages. He saw everything. The confrontation was brutal. I expected anger, maybe even violence, but he just sat there, pale and exhausted, staring at me like I was a stranger. "How long?" he asked, his voice hollow. I told him the truth. I expected him to scream, to beg me to stay, to hate me, but he didn't. He just nodded, got up, and left the room. The next morning, he was gone. A week later, I received divorce papers. No dramatic fights, no drawn-out arguments, just a clean, emotionless break. It was almost like he had been waiting for an excuse to let go too. Now, I'm alone. Ryan and I tried to make it work, but the guilt poisoned everything. Every touch felt tainted, every whispered, "I love you," sounded hollow. In the end, we fell apart. And Daniel? He got better. He moved on. Sometimes, I wonder if he had already fallen out of love with me long before I did. If he had just been too passive to end it himself. Either way, we're both free now. But sometimes, in the middle of the night, I wonder, did I make the right choice? Or did I destroy the one thing that truly mattered?
I will be very grateful if you subscribe to our channel.